Chronicles chapter 28. And David assembles all the heads of Israel, heads of the tribes, and heads of the divisions who are serving the king, and heads of the thousands, and heads of the hundreds, and heads of all the substance and possessions of the king and of his sons, with the officers and the mighty ones, and of every mighty man of valor, to Jerusalem. And David the king rises on his feet and says, Hear me, my brothers and my people. I had it with my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, and for the footstool of our God. And I prepared to build. And God has said to me, You do not build a house for my name, for you are a man of wars, and you have shed blood. And Yahweh, God of Israel, fixes on me, out of all the house of my father, to be for king over Israel for all time. For he has fixed on Judah for a leader, and in the house of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he has been pleased with me, to make me king over all Israel. And out of all my sons, for Yahweh has given many sons to me, he also fixes on my son Solomon to sit on the throne of the kingdom of Yahweh over Israel, and says to me, Your son Solomon builds my house and my courts, for I have fixed on him to be to me for a son, and I am to him for a father. And I have established his kingdom for all time, if he is strong to do my commandments and my judgments, as at this day. And now, before the eyes of all Israel, the assembly of Yahweh, and in the ears of our God, keep and seek all the commandments of your God Yahweh, so that you possess this good land, and have caused your sons to inherit after you for all time. And you, my son Solomon, know the God of your father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For Yahweh is seeking all hearts, and he is understanding every imagination of the thoughts. If you seek him, he is found by you, and if you forsake him, he casts you off forever. See now, for Yahweh has fixed on you to build a house for a sanctuary. Be strong, and do. And David gives to his son Solomon the pattern of the porch and of its houses, and of its treasures, and of its upper chambers, and of its innermost chambers, and of the house of the atonement, and the pattern of all that has been with him by the Spirit, for the courts of the house of Yahweh, and for all the surrounding chambers, for the treasures of the house of God, and for the treasures of things sacrificed, and for the divisions of the priests and of the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of Yahweh, and for all vessels of service of the house of Yahweh, even gold by weight for things of gold, for all instruments of every service, for all instruments of silver by weight, for all instruments of every service, and by weight for the lampstands of gold and their lamps of gold, by weight for lampstand, and its lamps, and for the lampstands of silver, by weight for a lampstand and its lamps, according to the service of lampstand, and the gold by weight for tables of the arrangement, for table, and silver for the tables of silver, and the forks and the bowls and the cups of pure gold, and for the basins of gold, by weight for basin, and for the basins of silver, by weight for basin, and for the altar of incense, refined gold by weight, and for the pattern of the chariot of the cherubim of gold, spreading and covering over the ark of the covenant of Yahweh. The whole is in writing from the hand of Yahweh. He caused me to understand all the work of the pattern, said David. And David says to his son Solomon, Be strong and courageous, and do. Do not fear nor be frightened, for Yahweh God, my God, is with you. He does not fail you, nor forsake you, to the completion of all the work of the service of the house of Yahweh. And behold, divisions of the priests and the Levites are for all the service of the house of God. And with you in all work is every willing one with wisdom for every service. And the heads and all the people are according to all your words.